We all know these discs. The creepy discs of Minecraft. Their names are 5, 11 and 13. Now, here's the thing. If you count to 13 seconds and play disc 5 at 5 seconds, disc 11 at 11 seconds, and disc 13 at the 13th second, something strange happens. They sync perfectly. This cannot be a coincidence. It's too perfect. It has to be planned. Now, let's look at the two creators, C418 and Samuel Orberg. Now, let's look at the release dates. 13 was released in 2010. A year later, Disc 11 was released, while Disc 5 didn't release until the year of 2022. This is too far apart to be random chance. To understand Disc 5, we need to understand the man who made it. Samuel Orberg isn't just a composer, he's currently the lead sound designer of Minecraft. And his approach to sound is obsessive. To get the sound of the pandas and the sound of dolphins, he didn't use some form of synthesizers, but instead he went to Kolmården Wildlife Park and Chimelong Safari Park to get the real thing. When he wanted to make the sound for the cats in Minecraft, he recorded the sounds from his own cat, Odie.
Wait a minute!
He once said that the famous dolphin cry from the TV series Flipper was actually a modified kookaburra call. Samuel doesn't just give you a sound, he gives you a puzzle. And it's not like he's new Minecraft either. He has been credited under music and sound all the way since Minecraft 1.9 pre-release 3. In-game, his skin resembles the legendary guitarist Buckethead. In real life, he's a cinematographer and actor. He knows how to tell story through a lens, and more importantly, through a microphone, like I'm doing right now. So, when Samuel Orberg was tasked with creating a disc, 11 years after the last one, he didn't just write a song, he recorded a catastrophe. There's one detail most people overlook. You don't just find Disc 5, you craft it. You have to find 9 separate disc shards hidden in the chests of ancient cities and combine them. This is crucial. Because if it's a broken disc, how do we know we're playing the shards in the right order? This explains the jarring speed ups and slowdowns we hear. Each shard might have been recorded at a different RPM, or perhaps they represent different moments in time stitched together by a player who didn't know the full story. Let's listen to it, start to finish, no theories, just what is actually there. It begins with a crackle on a noodle on an old record player, then a massive rumble. To me, it sounds like a portal opening. We hear the water roar, but cut off instantly. There's a brief speed up, then the strike of flint and steel. Fire starts to hiss. If you listen closely, you can hear a phantom circling in the distance. A bat squeaks and flies away. Then footsteps. Someone is walking on dripstone. But they are not alone. you start to hear a rhythm, like soldiers marching. Underneath that, the game's own Cave 17 ambience plays, and an alarm blares. We hear someone breathing, but it's heavy, ragged, like they're freezing. Mechanism clicks. A heavy door opens with a hiss of air. Here's something Samuel hid. If you reverse the sound of the wind here, you can hear the XP collection ping, slowed down and flipped. Then a roar that doesn't belong in Minecraft. It's an end descent from Minecraft Dungeons. The audio warps, speeds up, and then 23 seconds of actual music. When the music fades, we're in the cave. Lava bubbles. The person walks across dripstone towards an amethyst block. They break it. The sound of the chime seems to trigger a cave-in. Phantoms screech as the person runs, their footsteps changing from stone to dirt. They are coughing. They scramble to light a fire and place a block. Maybe soul sand. Then the person seems to be placing dirt and stone blocks before we hear a speed warp effect. Distorted explosions rock the area. Between the first and the second blast, a spectrogram reveals the literal shape of a dragon's head hidden in the audio. We hear Wither charging up, scraping tools, a final massive explosion. Silence. Then the sound of glass breaking, but in reverse. A soul-piercing screech. Another portal opens. A skulk sensor triggers. The warden roars one final time as the Wither dies. The recording slows down. The needle drags. And it's over. The fact that a dragon's head is hidden in the frequencies of the explosions proves this wasn't just a scary sound project, it was a map. Samuel Orberg used every tool in his kit. Reversed XP pings, sounds from other games like Dungeons, and even visual data hidden in the audio waves. But why? Why go through all this effort to show us a portal, a warden, and a wither all in one place? If Samuel Oberg is the architect of the modern catastrophe, then Daniel Rosenfeld, known to the world as C418, is the man who built the silence we all fear. Born in East Germany to Soviet parents, Daniel didn't just make a soundtrack, he made a lonely, infinite atmosphere. He was nicknamed C418 by his brother C818. While Samuel goes to wildlife parks for his sounds, Daniel's early work was born from pure digital experimentation. He has given us hundreds of tracks, from the peaceful Sweden to the haunting Mellow High. But there's one track that stands apart from his musical legacy. It isn't a song, it is a record of a hunt. And unlike his other track, this one is literally broken. Look at the texture for disc 11. It is the only disc in the game, other than disc 5, that looks physically destroyed. It was added back in beta 1.9 pre-release 2, and its stats are unsettling. The length of the disc is exactly 1 minute, 11 seconds and 111 milliseconds. It is the shortest disc in the entire game. In a world of random generation, those numbers are a deliberate warning. To get it, you usually have to trick a skeleton into killing a creeper. It's a drop born from conflict. And don't confuse this with his track titled 11 from the beta album. That is music. This is evidence. Let's listen to what Daniel left for us. It starts with static, much like disc 5, but shorter, more urgent. We hear stone blocks being placed rapidly. Someone is building, but listen to the breathing. It's heavy, fast. This isn't a casual builder. This is someone running out of time. There is a background hum, a cave ambience that doesn't exist in the game files. It's unique to this recording. Metallic clicks, coughing, the sound of pages being turned in a book. Are they looking for a spell? A map? Then heartbeats begin. They are too fast to be human. Something is approaching. Then a sound like a time warp or a rewind. The audio shifts. The stone footsteps change to dirt. Someone is scrambling now. In the distance, a dog barks. But before we can find out where they are, the audio cuts to black. Hissing static is all that remains. For years, people thought this was just a scary Easter egg, but C418 left a signature. If you put the audio through a spectrogram, a series of number appears. 1, 2, 4, 1, 8. In hexadecimal notation, the number 12 is represented by the letter C. 12, 4, 1, 8 becomes C418. He signed his name in the frequency of the fee he created. But Daniel's story with Minecraft ended on a complicated note. After years of negotiating with the big guys, he revealed in 2025 that he had partnered ways with Microsoft in terms of negotiation with his musical compositions with Minecraft. Unable to compose new music for the game, but desiring to work on other projects over Minecraft, he has a third album finished. But it's locked behind a wall of lawyers. He left us with a broken disc and a mystery he may never be allowed to finish. So, we have a catastrophe from Samuel. We have a hunt from Daniel. Now, we need the final piece. Disc 13. If disc 5 is a catastrophe and disc 11 is a hunt, then disc 13 is the origin, added way back in alpha version 1.0.14. It is one of the oldest mysteries in the game. Well, most discs are found by tricking a skeleton into shooting a creeper. This one is often found rotting in the chests of dungeons and woodland mansions. Cipher once said on his website that he originally wanted this disc to be played by a device hidden deep within a cave to create a creepy atmosphere. He even joked on Bandcamp that no human was harmed in the making of this recording. But when you look at the redstone signal it emits, it's a 1, the beginning of the sequence. Let's break down the audio. It's not a song, it's a soundscape of failure. It starts with a dark, heavy ambience. In background, there's a metallic ringing. To me it sounds like someone filling up a metal water bottle. Then a distant explosion. But the quality is lo-fi, muffled, as if the sound is struggling to reach us. Then silence. The metallic ringing returns. We hear a distinct hiss of TNT being lit, then a massive blast, but it's dampened, sounding like an underwater explosion or something happening behind a thick stone wall. Suddenly, a splash. It hits the left side of your headphones, harder than the right. Someone just jumped into the water to escape. We hear the sound of water sloshing and stone blocks being crushed. The ambience quiets down, pulling you in, making you lean closer to your speakers, and that is when C418 strikes. The volume suddenly spikes by 21 decibels. In technical terms, it jumps from -27 to -6 dBFS. While that isn't 11 times louder in the physical world, in the context of a digital recording, it is a violent, jarring increase. It's a jump scare hidden in the data. It holds this intensity for a few seconds, a wall of white noise before dropping back into the shadows. As the disc reaches its end, the tension rises. The volume slowly creeps back up to negative 18 decibels. It feels like something is finally about to happen, something is about to be revealed, and then a single piano note rings out. It's the only musical part of the entire recording, but before the note can even finish its fade, the audio is cut. The disc stops abruptly, leaving us in the dark. C418 gave us a beginning with no ending. So we have a splash and an explosion in 13, a case and a rewind in 11, a portal and a catastrophe in 5. Remember what I said in the beginning? If you play them at the 13, 11 and 5 second mark, they sync. We have the architect, we have the hunter, we have the origin. But when you lay these three stories on top of each other, the chaos starts to find a rhythm. This isn't a theory, it's a mathematical alignment hidden in the titles themselves. To see the truth, we have to follow the numbers. We start the clock. At 5 seconds, we drop the needle on disc 5. At 11 seconds, disc 11 begins. And at 13 seconds, disc 13 joins the void. I'm not going to tell you what you hear. I'm not going to tell you what this means for the law of the ancient cities or the fate of the music creators. I am just going to let the records play. A story told over 12 years. 2 different composers. 3 broken records. Whether this is a map to a forgotten war or a glimpse into the end of the world, one thing is for certain. Minecraft is never as quiet as it seems. I would love to see your theories in the comments. But with that said, it's me Martin, and I'm out.